I was told Kirby doesn't go after elite, top-end speed, excellent offensive weapon, wide receivers. Oh, wait, I guess because the kid's not the number one wide receiver, we're going to find a reason to complain, but not here on Locked On Bulldogs podcast. We're going to let you know why this is big. This is huge. This is fantastic. Kirby ropes in another one. We'll be talking about it next on Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. He is Clint. I am Daniel. Thanks for making us your first listen. Thanks to Game Time for bringing us this episode. Download the Game Time app today and use the code Locked On College for $20 off. More on Game Time in a moment. Clint, Georgia picks up another commit. What else is new? Georgia is good at recruiting. They get good players to come to campus. This one happens to play the wide receiver position, a position that you mentioned. We can't recruit. We're not able to do it. We can't get them. They're not. When we get them, they're not any good. They're not worth anything. And James Coley comes in and says, hold my Oakley sunglasses.
Thank you.
Hold my hair product.
Okay.
I'm going to just go ahead and do what I do best, which is reel in top talent at the wide receiver position. We're going to talk about this young man in just a moment, but let's start with James Coley, with a James Coley discussion here, because we mentioned him the other day on the show, and it bears repeating that this was a huge hire for Kirby Smart. This was a big time bring in a guy that is very good as a position coach, is not so great at calling plays, doesn't have to do that for Georgia, but very good as a position coach, a very elite recruiter. Yeah, we don't need to, because he doesn't do that, and he never will for us again. And so he does what he does well, and that is bring in top-tier offensive skill talent. Big get for James Coley, and you kind of start to see some of the James Coley recruiting efforts starting to pay dividends now for the Dogs, which is a fantastic thing.
It really, really is. James Coley, Jimmy C, the again, aforementioned horrible play caller, but the guy knows how to get certain position groups exactly where they need to be, not only in the draft, but on the field, and he can coach them up as well as recruit them. I'm happy. I'm fine with him doing exactly that. Kirby Smart knows exactly the buttons to push, levers to pull, when to do it, and so on and so forth. And this is going to continue to do great things. And this is why it's really, really important. Jimmy C has one geographic location about which he owns very, very well, and that's South Florida. That is a huge mecca, a huge hotbed of wide receivers, offensive skill guys, Miami and so forth and so on. And he knows that area better than you know which road to take at 4:35 when there's construction on your route home. And you're like, oh, wait, I know how to get back. He knows better South Florida than you knew your own neighborhood. Jimmy C is fantastic. Maybe some of you are geographically challenged just in totality, and it's not that hard for you to be out recruited in your own backyard. But this is why this is really important. I say all that, and I say, well, yeah, he's going to go get some dudes. He's going to take care of the South. Oh, wait, how about we just go up to Illinois? We just go up north.
Here we go.
Find a kid that we want. See, this was the expansion under Kirby. When you have deficiencies as an offensive play caller, and you have to do lots of things that are outside your comfort zone and outside of what you should be doing. And then Kirby says, hey, why don't I just take all the time that you had worrying and focusing on game planning? Stop doing that. Now, just put all your energies and efforts to getting kids and developing them on receiver and tight end offensive side of the ball, and he can do that. And the man goes up way north to Illinois and says, I can do it up here too. My mental foci is just really coming in now. Jimmy C has done a great job. I continue to hope that he stays exactly what he is doing because it's a great job. And Talon Taylor is one of the talented guys, 6'1", 175, top 100 nationally of all, top 10 in wide receiver, had offers from Alabama, Florida, all the like, chooses to come to Georgia. And I think the biggest thing that we can look at is, man, this guy can jump out of the freaking building, and Jimmy C knew it. So I just love this for ongoing dividends. This should give every Georgia fan excitement and encouragement that Kirby Smart was smarter than you and me by bringing back Jimmy C. Please, let's just give credit where credit's due.
Because the South Florida connection pipeline is going to pay dividends, but not a one-trick pony, not a one geographic region pony, and showing it here that he knows how to talk to wide receivers. He knows how to recruit them, speak their language. He knows how to get them interested in this offense and this scheme. And honestly, you look at the quarterback talent that Georgia is stockpiling, and you'd be a fool not to want to come and catch balls and be a part of that system. And so, yes, Talon Taylor is in the fold. We're going to break down who he is and what he brings to this Georgia Bulldogs offense right after these.
I don't know if you understand how much I enjoy watching Mark Cuban get absolutely train wrecked in the NBA Finals. It's one of the greatest joys that I have because I'm not a big NBA fan, and I'm even less a fan of him, and even less of a fan of Luka and Kyrie. And so watching them get smoked is fantastic. Hey, Colin, how you doing, brother? That was just for you. Right now, Game Time makes NBA Final tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app usually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. Don't know if you know that. With last-minute killer deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and the lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. Right now, you can go ahead and get into the building as it goes from either Boston or down in Dallas. It doesn't matter. Right now, you get into the arena, into the place, using last-minute tickets over on Game Time. You can do last-minute flash deals, zone deals, easy to find, even baseball tickets and views from all seats in the venue. You can get flash deals, which save even more exclusively in-app deals that select seats ahead of the game or event, and ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
All right. Talon Taylor from Geneva, Illinois, wide receiver coming in. 6'1", 175. You mentioned it, Clint, top 10 wide receiver in the nation. He commits to Georgia over the likes of hometown Illinois and Alabama, Florida, had offers from all over the country. And it's not difficult to see why when you look at this kid and you look at the body of work. The thing that stands out to me when I watch him is not, we talked last week. Was that last week? Gosh, it all runs together. We talked last week about the linebacker commit, Walker, and the athleticism jumps off the page. We comped him to Brock Bowers, which people found to be perfectly.
People liked it.
People were perfectly content with that comp. The athleticism jumps off the page. When you watch Talon Taylor, it's not the athleticism. He does have some pretty good size. He's got a pretty decent wingspan. He's got good speed, but it's not the athleticism. When I watch him play, and maybe hold on to the whatever it is that you're sitting on. If you're not sitting, maybe grab something.
Okay, hold on.
Brace yourself.
Gotcha.
This kid reeks of Lad McConkey to me.
My gosh, Daniel.
Reeks.
People in the comments
Lad.
are pissed at you and I having too much agreement on this podcast. We apologize to nobody.
None.
You're dead on. Continue.
This is a route runner. And you don't see a ton of route runners in high school, especially sophomore, junior year. Had a knee injury his junior year. And so a lot of this tape that you're watching from this kid is from his sophomore season or early junior year. And you don't see, when you find Division I athletes playing as high school sophomores, what you usually see is they're just superior physical specimens compared to everyone else on the field with them. Correct. You don't see a lot of technicians. You don't see a lot of route running savants. And that's what I see out of Talon Taylor. The way this kid gets in and out of his breaks, the way that he turns and locates the football, everything snaps with him. Everything moves in a crisp and linear fashion. And you think about in recent memory, like, who's that guy? It's Dom Lovett on this year's team. You've seen it there, but really the highest praise that you could give the kid in recent memory is that he runs routes like Lad McConkey a little bit. And it's not hard to see the similarities. It's no wonder that you and I, didn't coordinate this, but had the same type of idea, because you just watch the tape and tell me that you don't see a little Lad McConkey in there.
Yeah. You get two types of receivers, essentially. You just get dude who's bigger. Megatron, and I'm not saying Megatron didn't have technician skills, but that wasn't his game. His game was just, I'm going to go up and get the ball because I can and you can't stop me. It's the Shaquille O'Neal won the DNA lottery. That's what Shaq did, everybody. He wasn't a skilled player. He won the DNA lottery. Sure. This kid, I think it's maybe the fourth or fifth play on the tape from the Gatorade official game highlight reel, where he does an out cut. It's this. He kind of snaps off a double move, fakes the post over the middle. Looks like he's going to do a flag to the outside, and then settles down, sinks the hips, gets an out pass to him, cuts it up down the sideline for a touchdown. And you looked at that, and old homeboy at the cornerback position was in a blender.
Oh, he was not feeling himself at that.
He was nowhere near Talon at all. It was quite ridiculous what he, the space that he provided in that. And it was the quickness of the steps in and out of that break, and then continuing with the awareness of where he was on the sideline to catch the ball and then cut it up without looking back. Those sorts of things. Again, we want to say something like intangibles. That's not intangibles. That's actually just
those are very tangible.
Very tangible.
Yeah.
He's working on this. He has the cones out. He's swiveling the hips. He's putting two in the bucket, one in the bucket, two in the bucket, going on the ladder back and forth. This is what this kid can bring to the table. Speed. You want to talk about Lad McConkey has speed upon speed upon speed. That's what this kid has as well, taking the top off the defense. But it's not straight line speed only. He did run track here in 200 quite well over Illinois, in the state of Illinois. But my gosh, I think I'm thrilled because we got a couple other guys that are in recruiting classes before and in this one that are more just, hey, you got a big catch radius. All right, Colby Young, a la. We haven't seen Colby Young play yet, but that's his addition to it. But my gosh, when you look at the fast feet, who knew fast feet were sexy again? But
that's what. Listen, it gets the job done, and that's what we're looking for. I got another layer to add to this onion, or maybe peel back from this onion as we transition to the third segment with the loyal 199. But first, these.
We're going to the Outback. We're getting the blooming onion. We're going to get that dip and just just pour it everywhere. People don't know biggest calorie item on the menu, Daniel. How do you know you're close to the age of 40? You know that fact. That's
You are checking the cows at the Outback Steakhouse. No rules, or are there some rules?
No,
Like
there's
there are
some.
some. There are some. We want to live past 50, and so there are some rules now. A lot of times when you hear crisp route runner, you hear gets out of his breaks really well. What you think, and you could be forgiven for thinking this, but what you think is possession wide receiver, Clint. Is that what that can be what comes to a lot of people's minds? And so I want to make sure we gave the Lad McConkey comp, but if that wasn't enough, I want to be sure that we're totally crystal clear about this.
Okay.
This guy's not a possession wide receiver. This guy's a big play problem
There it is.
wide receiver. And not all big plays are created equal. Okay. So McCole Hardman's got one type of big play in him where he just runs by you down the sideline. And then he looks over that left shoulder, and what do you know? There's a football coming his way, and he catches it. That's a way to generate a big play. But Lad McConkey was also a big play wide receiver because you ever play Mario Kart? Clint, you ever play the Mario Kart?
It's a lot of fun.
What you want to do in Mario Kart, you could go for a heavy, right? You get Bowser, you get DK, you get one of these, and you get the big car or whatever, and you get wooed into this, like the speed is all the way up. That bar is all the way up. Talon Taylor's speed is not all the way up.
No.
But that's not how you win at Mario Kart, Clint. How you win at Mario Kart is you get that acceleration bar.
This is what the 199 was all about.
The 199 know this already, but I'm preaching to the choir here. You get the acceleration bar out because it's that start-stop that allows you what you just described from the 7-on-7s, the tape, the Gatorade stuff, the high school season. What you watch on that tape is that he starts, he stops, he shuts it down, he turns it on. He fakes a hitch, and then all of a sudden he spins out of that thing and he's gone down the sideline. That's the Lad McConkey stuff that leads to these big plays. And I think in Georgia's offensive system, you're going to see this kid double moving all day, every day. Georgia's got a tremendous offensive line.
Yes.
And they know how to protect a quarterback.
They do.
And they got plenty of time back there for guys like Talon Taylor to just get their work done and get by their guy. It's that burst, that suddenness, that quick twitch stuff that we talk about with Lad all the time. That's what you get out of this kid.
Yep.
And that's what should really excite you as a Georgia fan, because this is not just we need 6 on third down. Let's run a quick little in route and move the sticks. He could do that.
Sure.
But that's not really where he thrives.
No.
He's got some physicality to him. 6'1", 175. It's not he's slight.
He's not going to Auburn to do that. Okay.
But exactly. But he's at Auburn, he's just running an end round or catching a tunnel screen. Like that's do they do other plays?
No, that's 2 options you have as a wide receiver.
Yeah. So it's not like that's not where he's making hay. I think it's the double moves. It's the outbreaking and then upbreaking stuff where he's going to make a lot of defenders, have a seat on the carpet while he streaks down the sideline and the safety is in chase. All of a sudden, that's where you're going to see Talon Taylor.
You go do the open gym basketball and you think you're all big and bad. And so you come up on somebody coming down the court who's just kind of meandering a little bit. And so you're like, I'm going to press a little bit. And then all of a sudden you realize he gives off the ball and you got to chase him around 4 different screens. And then halfway through, you're like, well, I'm 50 feet behind this guy. now all of
Yeah.
a sudden.
I shouldn't have eaten that blooming onion earlier.
Why did I eat that freaking onion before I came here? That was
foolish.
This kid can just move his body and in any situation. It's more like I can anticipate something where we're just off the system. But Bobo says you have to get to this spot. You have 2.3 seconds to get to this spot on the field in the high low, the levels that we're going to give you. Get there, get a little option route when you see the sit. If it's in this zone, if it's man, get here. And he's going to be able to say, "Oh, I can shake somebody off my tail real easy." That's what he brings to the table.
Real easy and nice, yeah.
This has been Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.